because we are talking about politics, let's look at this politics and how it's playing out, right? Look back at what you read as the headline for the Taifa Leo, and then look at what we are going to discuss next with our next guest, who is Osoro. But the United Opposition. United Opposition has been working together, cobbling up themselves as a united opposition for a while.
Yeah. We
know who the principals are. Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, Fred Matiang'i, all these are leaders of the political parties, Martha Karua of PLP, and others. And they've been working under this... Narigiji, DCP, right? Among others, and they've been working under the stewardship of Dr. Mukhisa Kitui on trying just to come together and form this united outfit, which will select one unified candidate, who will face William Ruto next year. Now, they are hoping as well to bring in other people in the opposition ranks, so they can all come together and face, it is Ruto versus one, right? And that's what they've been working on. Dr. Mukhisa Kitui, as we interviewed him here, he said, I have experience in doing this. In 2002, I was involved in doing that, in bringing NAK together. That was Mwai Kibaki, Charity Ngilu, and Kijana Wamalwa. And then when the KANU renegades bolted and formed LDP, we had a conversation with them as well. How about we just come together as one united front? And they did that. They formed the Rainbow Coalition in 2002. So he's hoping that this will be the same. And he says it's not an easy task. You are dealing with egos, you are dealing with different political ambitions.
Yes.
And each of them has an ambition. Each of them feels that they ought to be the one at the front.
Yeah.
So now this outfit is here, each of them is drumming up support and wanting to say, I am the one who deserves the ticket. Emerge on the other side, it started as Kenya Moja, which has now morphed into Linda Mwananchi. The group of Edwin Sifuna, of Babu Owino, Godfrey Osotsi, Caleb Amisi, and others.
James Orengo.
Now James Orengo has joined this.
Okay, it's among the new,
among the young Turks.
Yes, he's the youngest of the young Turks.
Yes, the youngest among the young Turks.
Yes.
And what's the headline on the Taifa Leo?
Farasi watatu aibuka. Farasi watatu aibuka. So it was looking like a two-horse race. Linda Mwananchi chini ya Sifuna, Orengo na Owino watoa ishara ya kupambana na Ruto na upinzani 2027. Ruto na upinzani.
Yes.
So if indeed this is a three-horse race, 50+1 will be a very hard thing to achieve. 50+1 will be a very hard thing to achieve.
For whom?
For anyone.
Well, it has happened before.
In a three-horse race, yes, but not in a three-horse significant race, where all three horses seem to be, big. Not two horses and a pony, three stallions, three mares, three whatever you want to call them. That's the thing that I'm thinking through. I look at, for example, what this Linda Mwananchi group was doing in Kakamega. They had a fantastic weekend. You know, it's called aura farming. Aura farming, you know. Zima yo kitu, zima. We tuendelee na mkutano, you know. Atubabaishwi. You know, it's clearly showing you have pull, you have support, you have charisma, you have an X factor. There's something. I think they should continue waendelee kufanya vivyo hivyo so that, and if possible, get as big as possible and gain some momentum off of something concrete.
Okay.
And by concrete, I mean not being ousted as Secretary General. It's a good propellant.
Yes.
It's a good, you know, ya kuwasha, but it's not sustainable.
It needs to morph into something.
Yes, you can't cry wolf every day. So this is just thinking out loud. An ideal situation is that they use this propellant that is the oust of Edwin Sifuna as Secretary General, but then they build into something actually sustainable, something long-term. And at the end of the day, because people want change, then whoever is coming to the table is coming to their table, as opposed to them going to join. And by that, I mean including Eugene Wamalwa and Rigathi Gachagua and Martha Karua and all of them.
You know, and Philip, you can get the bites from Saturday of that rally in Kakamega, where we had Kina Babu Owino, Kina Edwin Sifuna, Kina Godfrey Osotsi, and others speaking, including James Orengo. And James Orengo, it's important to actually bring in James Orengo here into this conversation. When you last hosted James Orengo here, and we asked him about, the politics of this country. Remember, this is a man who has been in parliament since the early 1980s. He joined parliament as a young man, and then he went into opposition. He was among the so-called young Turks that were pushing for the second liberation of this country. He has been in parliament. He has championed very many things about reform in this country. We asked him, in 2002, Jim, you opted not to join hands with the opposition of the Rainbow Coalition. And Jim Orengo was a presidential candidate in 2002, right? So you may call him the pony that was in that race. If you say that Uhuru Kenyatta and Mwai Kibaki were the horses, then kina Jim Orengo and kina Simeon Nyachae were the ponies in that election. And we asked him why. I mean, you could clearly see where the wave was. You were, at that point, a very experienced politician, 20 years in the game. You could tell how the wave was. And he said, I did it on principle. And the principle was I needed to send a message about what this country needs and where this country should go. And I said, I paid a heavy price because I lost even the parliamentary seat. He was out, right? I paid a heavy price, but I needed to do it. And that's why I vied for MP Ugenya and President of Kenya. I lost MP, I of course lost President. But I did it for a reason. Now here we see Jim Orengo. He's the senior among these new younger people. What is he telling them? How is he guiding them in terms of organizing this national campaign, in terms of messaging, in terms of sticking to the message and the principle behind it?
Right.
Because if they're not doing it on principle, then what a sambaratika.
Boom.
If they're only doing it because, well, we are the renegades, we want to make our name, what a sambaratika, shall they survive?
That's very true.
If they don't have a message of why us, if they only tell us mimi ndio Sifuna, mimi ndio baada ya baba ni babu, na kama si babu ni tabu, if they only tell us that, then you'll ask, why should we elect you?
What do you bring to the table?
Yeah, beyond the euphoria, because there's good euphoria right now.
True.
Beyond the euphoria, then what?
Absolutely.
Or maybe we are being unfair on them because we are not asking the same of Kina Stivo and Rigiji and Nani.
I don't think it's being unfair. I will say this. I had kind of resigned myself to Kina Stivo, Matiang'i, because we've been asking them that question. We have. Let's be honest. On this show specifically, we've asked, what is it that you're bringing to the table? The president has also asked, even told them, saying one term is not a strategy, or it's not, you need something solid. Uza sera, sindio. So it's not really a surprise, but it is something that we've asked of them and we've questioned, but we've never gotten answers. I feel like we'd gotten resigned to our fate, and that was what was now making this momentum sort of die down. It's like, what is it that you're bringing? What is it that you're selling?
Why
what
you?
Is it? Who are you?
Yes,
who are? That's the question. Who are you? So if these other young Turks make the same mistake, then it'll be exactly that, a repetition. So you come in with verve, with energy, with momentum, and it fizzles out very quickly because you have nothing to sell, nothing to tell. That is essentially what will happen. Even if they do join hands and become one big united opposition, ikwe farasi wawili, if the second farasi has nothing except saying one term or saying mimi ni Sifuna or saying babu na tabu na babu na babu, then same story, just a different date, different script. The story on page 7 of the Daily Nation talks about opposition to Tuagusi amid Mount Kenya jitters. I'm trying to see if we're still thinking in the same way, which is galvanizing around tribal lines. Essentially, it's what we're doing. Yeah. They're saying we're setting camp in Nyamira today for a series of rallies and public engagements. These are not tribal events, but efforts to rally all Kenyans behind Dr. Matiang'i's candidature. That's the former administrative...
Interior CS.
Sorry, the former CS. Richard Onyonka and his Nyamira counterpart Okongo Omogeni said that the public engagements will cover Nyamira, Ekerenyo, Marani, Nyaboe, Suneka, Ogembo, etc., etc. Dr. Matiang'i has concentrated a lot of his political activity in Mount Kenya over the last few weeks, and he even signed a cooperation pact with PNU led by Peter Munya. As a result, this homecoming tour comes amid persistent criticism from Mount Kenya opposition leaders who accuse Dr. Matiang'i of acting as if Mount Kenya is his political base. These are some of the things I'm saying. What are you bringing to the table? Aside from, this is the
political base.
Yeah, this is my political base. This is also my rhetoric, one term. Hakuna sera, there's nothing underneath. There's no, you're not selling hope. I don't know. Think of Yes We Can. I think we've talked about that before. It's not Bush must go. It's yes, we can. Me and you, we can do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all that. Let's take a break. When we come back, we want to hear from you as well. What do you think? Is this, should the Edwin Sifuna group remain and solidify themselves as a third horse, or actually and even swallow up maybe the other second horse of the united opposition, or should they work together, and form one giant big horse that then faces William Ruto next year? Or what should you do? What would you advise these young Turks? Because this is the opposition young versus the opposition, the older opposition leaders. What would you advise them to do going forward? Let's take a break at 28 minutes past 7. We are Fixing the Nation, one conversation at a time, on NTV and Nation FM and all our digital platforms. It's Eric Latif and Mariam Bishar. So our conversation today is on this emerging third horse in the political race for 2027, and this is the Linda Mwananchi group, led by Edwin Sifuna, Babu Owino, Caleb Bamisi, Godfrey Osotsi, Jim Orengo, and others. And we're asking ourselves, so what do they bring to the table? Should they go it alone? Eugene Omalwa of the other side of the opposition said yesterday, let's work together. We all have one agenda, one term. So should we work together? And the question we are asking, and we'd like to hear from you this morning, is is Sifuna group go it alone all the way to the end? Should they find a way of working together with a United Alternative Government Group, as they call themselves? That's the Kalonzo, Rigiji, Matiang'i group. Should they work together, or should these guys go it alone all the way, or maybe just take it all the way until somewhere around April, May,
right,
come together? Or if you join them now, if you join the others now, is it too early? John True Nombagi says, Eric, watching your show, and I still think the what do politicians bring to the table frame is premature. John says, start with an audit. What did the current regime promise? What was funded? What was delivered? What quietly died? Without that scoreboard, manifestos are just lies. A lot of comments. Before we get back to the politics, on some of the other stories we've covered and what we just talked about, there's a lot of comments on YouTube. Yep.
Njenga Njogu says, on the evening of 25th June 2024, the president made a presser and said that people broke into Parliament's armory. To date, no update. If we have a militia, let the police put their face like they do with terrorists. Did the president say that people broke into Parliament's armory? I don't remember that.
I don't know about the armory, but he said, well, they broke into Parliament.
Yes,
it was an act of treason.
Yes. I didn't hear anything about the armory. But I understand what you're saying. If there's a silent militia, then the police should be doing the thing, not just saying.
Yeah, we should not just be sitting back and saying, kuna mwizi, na wewe ndio watchman.
A few comments on Charles Kanjama. Jikimando says, maybe too early to judge, but leaves a bitter taste on the mouth in terms of credibility and believability. He also says, Njenga says he's been skeptical on Kanjama being president of LSK. Okay. I feel he leans towards the regime. I predict his tenure will be a letdown. Okay, interesting. Chris Finn Onyango more or less echoes those thoughts. Charles Ndungu is saying, the third horse is on the road to finding out the impact of its presence on the scene. It should move quickly in this endeavor and come up with a workable agenda that resonates strongly with citizens. Kikombe says, I am with Mariam. Sifuna's team should capture momentum, but focus on issues and not just tulifukuzwa huko, mimi ndio nani, mimi ndio nani, mimi ndio nani. Yeah, like that.
Yes, start building momentum. But maybe we're just being too unfair on them. and hurrying them. Let them consolidate themselves with that message, because that's the message that is bringing people to them. The fact that right now we are victims, the fact that right now we are being kicked out of our party, and we are the ones who represent the spirit of Baba Raila Molodinga, right? So use that momentum right now to solidify the people, and then say, now that we have all agreed that we are not going that broad-based route, now that we have all agreed that we are the legitimate wing of ODM, now that we have all agreed that we are the ones who represent the ideals of what the Orange Democratic Movement has been working on for the last 20 years, now that we have all agreed that we speak for the people, we are Linda in Mwananchi, what does Mwananchi want? Maybe they want to go step by step.
Right.
And get to that level maybe in December when now Mwananchi comes and says, this is what I want. Baba would have gone around the country. Before Baba said Azimio, Baba went around the country doing rallies and saying he's listening to the people, and then coming back together and saying, Wananchi wameniambia tufanye Azimio la umoja.
Yeah.
Right?
I get
he
that.
was engineering consent.
Yes.
Basically, he was just going to tell people, tunafanya Azimio. Then he comes back, watu wamesema,
manufacturing consent.
Yes.
You're right. And to be fair, that's why I said it's a matter of timing. So I said that's the mistake that especially this other opposition, united opposition, has made, is that they got in on the back of, post-Mandamano, Nana, so that gave them a little bit of momentum. But after that, they didn't solidify into anything concrete. And then they lost momentum as a result, and we've seen it like in real time playing out. So that's the mistake I'm hoping that these young Turks, Walinda Mwananchi, don't make. It is early. They've just hit ground. It's okay. Hit the ground running. Galvanize support. It's okay. Coalesce. Let people know who you are, what you are about, and then decide. Let people know who you are, and then now tell them what you are about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question that we're asking is: should this emerging third horse go all the way? Should this emerging third horse look and reach out to the opposition outfit and say, let's work together? Would it be too early? Would it be premature of them? Would it actually be detrimental for their own political survival to move right now and start saying, let's work, let's reach out to Kina Kalonzo and Kina Rigiji and see how we can work together?
Oh, it's far too early.
Is it far too early? Also remember, these are young people, and 2032 for them is actually a very ripe ground for them. Kina Kalonzo, 2032, there will not be, viable alternatives to run government. That's the truth. Kalonzo, Martha Karua, and others. 2032, we will get to that level where we are shifting.
Right.
Uhuru Kenyatta will have faded out. William Ruto will have faded out. If he wins a second term, he'll be getting out. If he doesn't win a second term, what are you doing in 2032 anyway? So the younger politicians that we have right now and others who are yet to emerge are the ones who are going to be strong in 2032. Edwin Sifuna, Babu Owino, Caleb Amisi, Godfrey Osotsi, and others, including our next guest in the next hour, Silvana Sosoro. Those are younger politicians, are the ones who are going to be making the big moves in 2032 for the leadership of this country going forward.
See, we shift our minds. Why does it have to be 2032? And 2027 iko hapa.
I'm saying for definite. You see 2027, Kina Kalonzo in the running.
Yes.
Kina Martha Karua in the running.
Yes.
Kina Eugene Wamalwa in the running. William Ruto is in the running. In 2032, they will not be in the running.
Fair. I'm just thinking about it from just a mind shift perspective. I think it's important. I am ready for something radical. I'm hoping I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
And radical is thinking of them as viable alternatives right now.
Yeah.
Because this thing of, the future is young, 2032 is young. Yeah, but the present also is. So it's wishful thinking, but not really when you think about the fact that it's incredibly possible, especially if they're able to galvanize. I was thinking through my worry being that one, the way we do politics here could be a disadvantage to them if they don't team up with the other Turks. One, if they are to be a third horse, we mobilize so ethnically in this country. And unfortunately, so far what you're seeing is Sifuna, Owino, Osotsi, and co. That's all one side of the country.
It's all Western.
It's all
in
Western.
Fact, they have had 2 rallies now in Western.
Yeah. The way we galvanize is very ethnic. I think they could be able to galvanize the rest of the country. But it would take intention, it would take work, it would also take a shift in us as voters, deciding, you know what, we're doing things differently. If we want change, change comes in any shape, form, whatever. Number two, the finances. I don't pretend to know anyone's pockets. I'm not a pocket watcher.
You're not Kerry?
I'm not Kerry. I just know how incredibly expensive elections are in this country. So without some major backing, it's either we as Kenyans decide that these are our people and we're willing to back them financially
and materially.
And continue to do the work, or some godfathers come up and start doing the godfather thing. But again, I don't pretend to know anyone's pockets.
And actually, that's a very valid point. Like I saw on Sifuna's social media, in the lead up to Saturday, he said that the new truck that they were using and the PA system was a donation by some well-wishers. And he said, someone told him, I saw you guys struggling with sound in Kitengela.
Right.
Here.
Shikeni.
Use this truck. It has proper sound. And so he was saying somebody has just come out and said, you guys, here's a truck. So is it about mobilizing such others? Does this guy, is this guy willing to put in his investment into a donation for Kina Sifuna until the election next year? You know?
Right.
And others such as those. Some comments are coming in. Antonio Maina says, I hope Sifuna's team is thinking beyond the sitting horse, because the truth be told, this is the calm before the storm. Apparently, that horse does not accept defeat easily. Blazion Swambua says, can they sustain the momentum though, until next year's polls? Shepard Nandasaba, this is a generational shift. The united opposition wamepitwa na wakati. It's unfortunate that Nyayo overstayed for 24 years and robbed their generation of the leadership opportunity. Right? Al-Bibiusuni says the emerging third horse should take over the ODM party and move the Baba agenda towards negotiating with a broad-based government afresh, or go solo with a new agenda that resonates with the people. So he's saying, you take over ODM, then now you can decide, negotiate with broad-based
or not.
and own fresh new terms, or go it solo.
But Sasa, the whole point was they didn't want to negotiate with broad-based. That's how we ended up with Linda Ground na Linda Mwananchi.
Or maybe they were feeling that they were not being included in the negotiation table.
Very true.
Yeah.
Also very possible. Let's listen in actually to what was happening in Kakamega, what some of these leaders had to say. I don't know if tutafika patia zima hiyo kitu, but let's listen in.
Sisi ni wanaume, wapige wengine kama watapiga. Wapige wengine kama watapiga. Tuliambia William Ruto, mambo ya kuua vijana wetu itakoma. Wameua, hawajaua. Kule Nairobi, wamechukua sasa ati Musalia ndio governor wa Nairobi. Si hiyo ni kukandamiza ukatuzi? Makosa yangu kubwa sana. Nimesema kwamba Ruto 2027 lazima aende nyumbani. Tutaki mtu yoyote aumizwe, si ndio? Ukishika mhalifu, leta yeye hapa juu. Hao tunaweka kwa boots, tunaenda nao Nairobi leo. Tupelekee Murkomen, tumwambie hao wahalifu ulituma, tumerudi nao Nairobi.
Tiagas haiwezi maliza. Nyuki haiwezi maliza. Maji moto haiwezi maliza. Serikali haiwezi maliza. Nini ilipatia Mbadi kazi? Nini ilipatia Wandai kazi? Nini ilipatia Oparanya kazi? Nini itakupatia kazi?
Nataka kuambia Sifuna. Wewe Sifuna. Wewe. Hii mwili yako imetosha kulala kwa kitanda ya State House. Hapa Kakamega tuko na kitu inaitwa dhahabu. Sema dhahabu. Sema dhahabu. Na hii dhahabu president ananyemelea. Tumesema muniua viwanda za Mumias. Saa hii dhahabu hatuachili. William Ruto, sasa umeleta nyota. Maliza ulete mwezi. Maliza ulete jua. Watakula pesa lakini 2027 we must buy Ruto. Wamemuua Raila Amolo Odinga. Wanataka kuua chama cha Raila Amolo Odinga. Na katibu mkuu ya chama cha ODM ni nani? Ni nani? Ni nani?
You know, this kind of energy, actually, you cannot dismiss it because it galvanizes people, it mobilizes people.
Yeah.
Right? Even as we talk about all the previous campaigns, like in that 2002 campaign, the young, Raila Odinga, younger Raila Odinga then, was very, very active on all these campaigns, mobilizing people. And then just remember the Gidi Gidi Maji Maji song, We Are Unbogable. And it was bringing the people together. Kina Muhisa Kitui and all were the ones who were standing and, making the jokes then. And singing. They were singing songs, Kina Otieno Kajwang and all there. What we are seeing now is a kind of energy that Kenyan's politics has seen. Right. And you need these politically charged rallies. You do. People come out of there feeling aki. Mambo ina change. Mambo tuna change. So there's that. And you can see there's some of them who are coming in with some message. Like here we had Caleb Amisi talking about in Kakamega we have gold. Yes. And we've got to protect this gold from Isinyakuliwe. Now William Ruto, however he means it. Now how do you continue with that message so that people can resonate? Because it's already a pain point, and we had that story here. It's already a pain point to the people of Ukolomani on what's happening to their gold. So are you using that? Are you providing a solution? Are you just using that to inflame emotions and say twende nalo?
It's an interesting time. I will say what they have going for them, they should hunker down on. It's verve, it's energy, like I said before. It's also this idea that you can be charismatic while being lawful and things like that, Mkipata mhalifu msimuumize, mleteni hapa mbele turudi naye Nairobi tupeleke Murkomen. Things like that. I hope that again the momentum is sustained and that it turns into something solid, and that ideally this other and I'm saying this as a person who wants to see young people lead, and I mean from the presidency, not from anywhere else, and that this other united opposition comes to be absorbed by them, because I think, to be honest, we'll still have to galvanize in that sense. But it's who gets swallowed by who. So waendelee vivyo hivyo. In Siaya, Linda ground, walikuwa kwa ground.
Homa Bay.
Walikuwa ni Homa Bay. Okay. Wacha tusikize what was happening in Homa Bay County.
Oh no, they were in Siaya actually.
It was, right? Yes, Siaya. Let's listen into what Linda ground was saying pale Siaya.
We are going to negotiate on policies. We are going to negotiate on development programs. We are also going to negotiate on sharing of positions, which includes sharing power. We are entering into a negotiation in preparation for next year's election. And we have only expressed intention to start negotiations. I don't know why some people are saying that we are in a hurry. We are in a hurry going where? We are not in a hurry because everybody is now preparing for next year's election. And ODM cannot be left behind.
Hao wanajua Raila kushinda Uburu. Orengo wanasema wanajua Raila kushinda Uburu. Hiyo inawezekana kweli? Hiyo inawezekana kweli? Na unaweza jua mtu kushinda ndugu yake mkubwa? Sisi pia kama ODM tunataka kujua tutapata nini kwa hiyo serikali. Hapana hata hapa kusema tutafanya 2 term, lakini weka vitu kwa meza. Tumeelewana? Waweke vitu nini? Hii Minister of Finance kwanza hiyo hatuwezi kuzungumza juu yake. Minister Energy hatuwezi kuzungumza juu yake. Na tunataka vitu vikubwa ziwekwe juu ya meza.
Dr. Oburu Oginga ndiye kiongozi wa chama cha ODM. Oburu Oginga ndiye anaongoza chama cha ODM. Ile kikundi kingine sio chama cha ODM, hiyo ni kikundi kingine hatuelewi. William Ruto ametembea na sisi kama Wajaluo kwa miaka mingi sana. Ndio sababu mimi naunga mkono juhudi ya Mheshimiwa Oburu Oginga ya kuanzisha mazungumzo kirasmi na chama cha UDA.
Mnataka chama kizame? Mnataka chama kizame? Wangapi wataniunga mkono kuhakikisha liwe liwalo, wende waje, wasukume tukisukuma, chama kitabaki chama cha ODM. Tunataka kina mama wawe na pesa mfukoni kupitia ile 10-point agenda. Tunataka mambo ya human rights izingatiwe kupitia ile 10-point agenda. Na hiyo 10-point agenda tutazongesha mbele.
Hey, well, I can see the difference in energy. Anyway, again, energy it's how you sustain it. It's how you sustain it. It's how you keep it up. What's atuniachia hapo? Honestly, anyway, kila mtu na mfuko yake. My other question, you asked, you know what, should this third horse go it alone or should they join forces with the rest of the united opposition? My other question is, this third horse, again, what is their principle? Are they doing this because they genuinely believe in what they are saying, which is that ODM should not get swallowed by UDA and co, should not become part of this broad-based manenos, that, you know, change should look like this, like that. Is that the driving force? Or is it, we were not at this other table and we didn't want to go hungry, so we're going to create our own table? That is another good question.
Both of which are validly right. Okay? So as a politician, obviously, you start from a selfish point of what's in it for me. I mean, why am I spending my entire week away from my family, campaigning, going up and down, inhaling tear gas, spending so much money, resources? Why? What's in it for me?
Right.
Right? I want to be in a position of power and influence.
Yeah.
Now, if I feel that the other side was already edging me out, right? Oburu and Kina Wanga and Kina Abduswamad were edging me out, that I'm not gonna, even if those seats that Junet is talking about, even if those seats were put on the table,
right,
I was not gonna be high on the list of benefiting from them, then there's no point of me supporting that cause.
Yeah.
Because what's in it for me? Nienda tu even nawasindikiza mpate viti. I can't do that.
Yeah.
So how about I create another seat?
Am I just a passenger on this train?
Yeah, am I just a passenger on this train?
Yeah.
Which is what Bibi Suni is saying here. If you form yourselves and you become a very viable alternative, then now you have, legroom and you have leverage with which to go and negotiate. You can negotiate with the Rigijis and Kalonzo side, or you can negotiate with the Ruto side. Yeah. What's in it for me, right? What's in it? If Ruto comes and tells Sifuna, Sifuna, let's do this. Let's run this thing together.
Yeah.
Right? On the other side, Kina Eugene, Kina Nani are saying, no. We have a candidate to President Tukonaye, Deputy President Tukonaye, Prime CS Tukonaye. Wewe Sifuna, wewe, you're a lawyer. What we can do is we can make you leader of majority.
Yes, yes.
And the other side is telling Sifuna, you become running mate.
Yeah.
So he has now a decision to make there and see nitachezwa na nani. Where am I likely to actually end up winning? It starts from that personal angle.
Right.
The citizens' angle
comes later.
Whether we are in government or we are in the minority, we are still serving the citizens.
Okay.
We shall champion rights.
Your wants and your needs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tutafanya maandamano.
Tutaandamana.
Yes.
What Babu Wino was saying, Oparanya, Mbadi, Joho, Wandai, yes, wamepata kazi aje? Maandamano. Nyinyi mtapata kazi aje? Maandamano. I'm really trying to understand that. I was really trying to thread that to see how maandamano equals kazi. I don't know. Hapo nilipotea kidogo. Lost me a little bit. But the ODM old guards will be in for a shock. This is according to Still Mike the One. The tides have shifted so rapidly that they're trying to do damage control. The tide could be shifting. Again, it's how you take advantage of the situation. The tide could be shifting and then something blocks it.
Yeah.
And it's right back to square one.
Yep.
Or again, you keep the momentum, you use it, you're strategic. It's very early to tell. We are still 1.5 years or so to the next election. We'll be speaking to Silvana Sosoro in the next hour, talking to him about Gusiland politics, what Matiang'i was also trying to consolidate and has been trying to consolidate.
Politics of numbers.
Politics of numbers, that's the word for it.
Rose Wangoi says, the river has broken its banks and no amount of gabion building can fit in. Let's preach more on voter cards registration. If those crowds translate to votes, then the nation will be at a better place. If those people that we are seeing in all these rallies actually translate to votes, and votes for that wing. You know, there can be votes, but they're voting for their side. They were just coming for the rallies for entertainment's sake.
Yeah.
You know? So if that is it, then fine. If they're not voters, if they're just spectators who come in for the entertainment's sake for the day and then they go back home, on the day of elections, just a fraction of them actually turn up to vote, also completely wasted energy.
Yes.
So it does go in tandem with make sure that there's a proper voter drive, civic awareness, mobilization to register as voters, and then mobilize them to see your side as the side that they ought to vote for. But beyond just the excitement, the euphoria and all, I'm waiting for early next year, because that's when all these people are going to come up with their message of what their message really looks like. And I feel like early next year, they may come and argue that it's a good time, but I may say, why are we waiting? Why wait for early next year if you're Kalonzo and you want to be president? You have some thoughts. You have been wanting to be president for long. You have run as president since 2007. 2013, you were running mate. 2017, you were running mate. 2022, you were supporting the Azimio candidate. You know what this country needs and you know what the messaging would be like. Why aren't we hearing the clear message of Kalonzo Musyoka on what is needed? Why aren't you hearing a clear message from Rigiji on what is needed? Ni sawa, Kasongo ende nyumbani, ni sawa, alafu.
And then that's the question mark for all these parties, to be fair. Hashtag is Fixing the Nation NTV. In the next hour, we'll be speaking to Majority Whip, that is Sylvanus Osoro, and we'll be talking about the politics of numbers in Gusiland and across the country. We'll be right back after this.